It was a night heavy with history. Under the glowing lights of Riyadh's Kingdom Arena, the world gathered to witness something boxing hadn't seen in nearly a quarter of a century: the crowning of an undisputed heavyweight champion. The atmosphere was electric, a storm of tension and anticipation swirling through the air. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, a man of contradictions, stepped into the ring draped in confidence, part showman, part warrior. His story was one of redemption, from the depths of despair to the throne of the heavyweight division. Across from him stood Oleksandr Usyk, the Ukrainian genius, calm, cerebral, and cold-blooded in execution. A man who conquered cruiserweights, defied odds, and now stared down the biggest challenge of his life. When the bell rang, the theater of war began. Fury moved first, light on his feet despite his towering frame, flicking jabs like daggers. Usyk studied him, patient, eyes unblinking. The crowd buzzed with every feint, every touch. Then, in a blink, Usyk's left hand snapped through Fury's guard and drew first blood. The message was clear. This would not be easy, not for either man. As the round ended, both returned to their corners with the same realization. This was going to be a battle of minds, hearts, and wills. By the second round, the rhythm of the fight began to reveal itself. Fury's range and reach against Usyk's timing and precision. The Gypsy King tried to command the center, his jab pawing, his grin widening with every landed shot. But Usyk was no stranger to giants. He slipped and pivoted, darting inside with rapid combinations to the body, each one a data point for his brilliant boxing mind. The crowd could sense the tension rising, the calm before a coming storm. Fury began to find his range, that long jab snapping Usyk's head back like a whip. But Usyk kept pressing, relentless and unafraid, digging at the ribs, touching the head, making Fury uncomfortable. By the third, Fury looked settled, his movements fluid and confident. He started to taunt, his showmanship emerging with every swaggering step. He was in his element now, dancing, feinting, dictating. Usyk, though, remained stoic. His eyes burned with focus. To the untrained eye, it seemed Fury was pulling ahead. But beneath the surface, Usyk was calculating, adjusting, waiting for his opening. The tension inside the Kingdom Arena was palpable. The world was watching two masters at work, each trying to outthink and outlast the other. By the fourth and fifth rounds, Tyson Fury looked untouchable. The Gypsy King was gliding across the canvas with the grace of a man half his size. Every movement seemed effortless. A jab here, a feint there, an uppercut rising from nowhere. His confidence filled the ring like smoke. Usyk began to feel the weight of Fury's strategy. Those body shots thudding against his ribs, each one slowing the smaller man's legs. Fury was in complete control, talking, laughing, mugging for the cameras between exchanges. It was the classic Gypsy King performance, flamboyant yet deadly. Usyk's face began to show signs of damage, a red welt swelling near his cheek. Fury pressed harder, walking him down, digging deep with both hands. The seventh round began with a shift in energy. Usyk came out sharper, angrier, more determined. He'd survived the storm and was now creating one of his own. Fury still looked confident, showboating with his hands down. But the momentum was changing. Usyk began landing a straight left hand, crisp, accurate, unmissable. Fury's head jolted back, his smile fading slightly, as the Ukrainian found his timing. The crowd sensed it too, the hum of anticipation turning into thunder. By the eighth, the fight had transformed. Usyk was stalking now, stepping through the fire, refusing to yield. Every shot carried purpose. Fury's blood began to flow again, crimson against his pale skin. Usyk's combinations became surgical, short, fast bursts that disrupted Fury's rhythm. The Gypsy King was still dangerous, still firing back, but the energy had shifted. The smaller man was no longer just surviving. He was winning exchanges. In Usyk's corner, trainer Anatoly Lomachenko yelled in Ukrainian, "Now, pressure him!" And Usyk obeyed. The chess match was over. This was now a battle of endurance, precision, and soul. Tyson Fury looked up at the clock as the round ended, breathing heavier than before. Oleksandr Usyk was closing in, and history was whispering his name. Round 9 would go down in legend. Fury, still taunting, still smirking, was caught flush. A left hand from Usyk detonated on his jaw like lightning. Fury's legs betrayed him. The giant stumbled across the ring, dazed, crashing into the ropes as Usyk unleashed hell. The Ukrainian followed with a flurry, clean, vicious, relentless. Fury's eyes glazed, his balance gone. The Kingdom Arena erupted in disbelief. For a moment, it seemed the Gypsy King might fall for good. The referee hovered, ready to step in. Fury staggered, swayed, somehow stayed upright, but Usyk would not stop. Another barrage, another thundering left hand, and finally, Fury slumped into the ropes. It was ruled a knockdown. The crowd was on its feet. The once untouchable giant looked mortal, but Tyson Fury, true to his legend, refused to stay down. He beat the count, eyes glassy but defiant. The bell sounded, saving him from further punishment. As he returned to his corner, his body swayed, his mouth open for breath. Usyk sat in his corner, expressionless, a soldier on a mission. In that single minute, the entire narrative of the fight had changed. The Gypsy King was hurt. The Ukrainian storm had arrived. The final rounds were pure grit. Fury, though shaken, fought back with the heart of a champion. He jabbed, moved, survived, even landed clean counters that drew cheers from the crowd. But Usyk was relentless, stalking him like a man chasing destiny. The 10th and 11th rounds became a war of will. Both men bruised, bloodied, exhausted, yet neither would surrender. Each punch thrown carried the weight of years, of sacrifice, of legacy. And then came the 12th, the final 3 minutes of truth. Fury tried to rally, bouncing lightly, his pride refusing to fade. Usyk pressed forward, hammering the body, pushing Fury back to the ropes. The bell rang, and they fell into each other's arms. Warriors who had given everything. The world held its breath as the scorecards were read. 114-113 Fury. 115-112 Usyk. 114-113. To the winner by split decision, from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. The arena erupted. Fury nodded, accepting defeat with grace. And there stood Oleksandr Usyk, tears in his eyes, flag over his shoulders, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. For the first time in 24 years, boxing had one true king. The Gypsy King met the Ukrainian master, and together they wrote a story for the ages.